Hey people, Infantry 3v3, Calderis Refinery, blue side. Exterminatus is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat, some powerful disruption and support. We have the Exterminatus elite scheme alongside DarkElllf, is a plague champion, starts off in ranged combat with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons, some solid defense and support, can heal and repair. Rounding off the blue team here, Commissar lag with an Apothecary, support hero that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. You can see the green hexagons over there. Loves these pink colour schemes, Commissar lag, for years now. Red team, Kaiser with a Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines with perpetual anger. Relatively naked Warboss here, it's not a ranked up one, so he doesn't have all these bits. Alongside, YZ is an Eversor assassin, melee risk reward brawler that explodes on death, wants to rip your face off. Rounding off the red team is Wolfguard with an Chaos or Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. The Night Lord's elite scheme. A lot of discussion about how you say this word. Is it Eversor? Is it Eversor? Is it Eversor? Well, it's a Latin word, so it was probably said quite strangely by those people that spoke that language, but in the Warhammer 40k world it seems to be Eversor. People have said they've heard it spoken in like audio books and stuff, and that's how they say it, so it seems to have the blessing of Games Workshop. So I'm mostly going to say Eversor or Eversor or something like that. These CSM are dead. He's taking a big risk here waiting for the Heretics. I don't think it's going to happen. Heretics get the Doom Blast, but all those knockdowns really screwed up the CSM and they are wiped. Those were DarkElllf's. YZ with some more Stormtroopers. Here they are with the las guns. Strike squad chucking out their banishment. Commissar lag with double tactical marine, sorry. Wolfguard with double CSM. Pushed all the way up onto Exterminatus' VP. And they can grab this VP. Well, that was a strange retreat. They could have just forced close combat on those Dire Avengers and messed them up. That might have been a misclick or a miss keystroke, whatever. Red team take the mid. Orks a little bit bashed up, but they're alright. We've got Storm Boys on the way for Kaiser. Apothecary just hanging around. Is he going to go mid? Nope. Commissar turns around here. Commissar lag, that is, the player. I guess we're going to see interceptors from YZ. More CSM for DarkElllf. Apothecary might not want to be straight out in front there. Slugger's trying to close the distance. Warboss, I think, sort of approached a little bit earlier. Storm Boys need to jump. That's a good special. And now he can do a stomp too. There it is. Storm Boys with power melee weapons, a big threat to the heavy armor of the Tactical Marines, doing 30% more damage to their armor type. Shotgun blast comes in. Doesn't knock them all back, gives you that knockback and suppression, good for countering melee units. Going to get their sergeant too. Can they throw a grenade? They don't quite have the energy to do so yet. Storm Boys given a big old chase. Need to be careful. They killed another Marine though. And then they jump out. That's probably smart. Shooter Boys bringing up the rear. In the mid, some Nurgle worship providing health regen for DarkElllf's units, but not his allies. It's important to note. Warlock getting stuck in. Sorcerer teleports in. Ties up some Rangers, makes them flee. These Dire Avengers are going to be in trouble because here come Heretics with an aspiring champion. And that guy is a decent melee combatant in tier 1. In fact, those guys died. Also, he gives the other Heretics more health, which makes their Doom Blast, their exploding chaotic Doom Blast, do more damage. Havoc's on the way for DarkElllf, and indeed we do see interceptors on the way for YZ. Any war gear? Yes. Onslaught injectors for the Eversor assassin. Gives him a little bit more speed passively and makes his charge range even greater. I think that takes it up to like 18 or something. Standard is 12. I think he starts with 15 and that takes it up to 18, I think, which is pretty nuts. Also, +1 melee skill every tier. By tier they mean the tier of your HQ. And just that you might not think that +1 melee skill makes a difference, but it does in getting those special attacks. And of course he gets more for leveling up and stuff. Some more Dire Avengers out kind of late here for Exterminatus. They are getting the aspect of the Avenger to replace those that went down. Purification Rites does do increased damage per level by 3. Isn't bad if you get like a level 8 Apothecary or something. Here comes the Eversor Assassin, and there is Psychon. His starting ability, 30% more damage, 30% damage resistance, but he does take a chunk of damage at the start of the ability. 100 by default. Gone for the Executioner Pistol. Neurotoxin doing damage over time and slowing the target down. Can help him chase stuff down or just mess with an enemy melee unit. Boom, just fired at that CSM model. Nice effect on it too. And gets level 2 there. It's 120 damage over how much time though? I don't know. Doesn't tell me. Not sure how long it slows you down there. Here are the Interceptors. Really strong, these guys, I think. They're the same cost as Assault Marines. The same health as Assault Marines, but they have the damage profile of Raptors. Downside being that their teleport or their jump, whatever you want to call it, in tier 1 doesn't affect enemies in any way. You have to wait to tier 2 to get the disruption, but still pretty damn strong, those guys, especially with that instantaneous teleport. Makes a big difference. Can't really dodge it like you can a jump. You can see a jump coming kind of thing. Have time to retreat. Stormtroopers with their sergeant gives them a nice grenade. Should be able to defend. The rest of the power is just going to back off here. YZ with that level 2 Eversor Assassin. We have Noise Marines for DarkElllf. Oh, Commissar lag dropped some Tactical Marines while I was yapping. You see various bodies strewn around the place. Sluggers do have their burners, gives them more health and some power melee weapons. Don't think Commissar can really push here alone. Yep, here comes DarkElllf to help out. There was that Neurotoxin. It only slows down a single model, which is interesting. Down goes the Eversor Assassin. Did explode on death, as you saw. Interceptors run away. Purification Rites heal for the Apothecary with a little bit of knockback. Needs some backup though. Storm Boys jumping in. Heretics need to stop worshipping and start fighting, I think. There's some cacophony from the Noise Marines. Doing that AoE disruption to both allied and enemy units. Anything around is going to get smacked around. We got a Bang Bang Hammer and a Boss Pole on the Warboss. Decent grenade going in there. Needs to run away, the Warboss though. Might go down on retreats. The Plague Champion's damage by time bolt gun. Yeah, pretty good at taking down single entities in retreat early on. Tier 2 all around, aside from DarkElllf and YZ. Yes, I'm going to pronounce all of the L's every time. Devastator's on the field for Commissar lag now with that heavy bolter to suppress units in a wide firing arc. There it is. Covering this approach quite well. Might want to move them up a little bit to support the Tactical Marines here. Are they going to go for a decap? They are not. Too nervous about what could be coming out against them. Some Nurgle worship in the mid. Banshees are capping, have their aspect of fleetness, and the Exarch just went in there, so she's got those mirrored power swords. There she is. Isn't she dapper? Gonna chop you up good. She does like 55 DPS herself or something, doesn't she? 53.8. Pretty damn good. Chops you up a lot. 383 to 321. Double cap here for the red team though. Tier 2 right now for Kaiser. Looks like YZ and DarkElllf are stuck in tier 1 for the moment. And we have a Bile Spewer for the Plague Champion. Might be trying to get a little flank here on the Orks perhaps. They've run into some Interceptors. Noise Marines doing their thing. Those Sonic Blasters do damage and shut down ranged attacks, which is pretty damn useful. I hear the Banshees yelling. What they be yelling at? Stuff. 8 to Doomblast though, and have to flee. Where's that Warlock? Where's that Destructor? Oh, they run away anyway. Can get the VP back now. Meanwhile, more cacophony. Maybe they've already used their banishment. Interceptors getting stuck in. I'm going to tie up those Noise Marines. There you go, fellas. Oh, they're in danger of going down here. A little bit sloppy from DarkElllf. But they got away. Saved it with the Bilious Discharge, completely shutting down the movement speed of that Grey Knight stuff there. Because if you hit them with Bilious and then you hit them with the basic attack of the Bile Spear, all stacks together, and you basically can't move. Apothecary now had enough of these Xenos and these Heretics. He's got his Anointed Power Axe and Combat Stims. These fellas with Eternal War being chased by an Eversor Assassin. He should be... oh, maybe not. I thought it was going to be okay, but down he goes. Storm Boys jumping in with their Knob Leader, who stuns stuff on landing because he's so big. Oh, they lost the Knob Leader now, but they do get away. Slugger Knob also needs to flee. Warboss, I don't think you're going to hold your VP for much longer, buddy. Might see a power harass there even. Meanwhile, Wraithlord up for Exterminatus on the east side. The Sword of Flame I see from the Chaos Sorcerer. As well as doing fiery damage over time. Also can use Coruscating Flame to wreath something in fire. I think it has to be an infantry unit. It says wreathing an ally, so I don't know. Can you put down vehicles? Here's your Chaos Dreadnought with its autocannon and underslung combi bolter or twin link bolter or whatever it is. Noise Marine's going to try and get that VP back. DarkElllf trying to support both sides. Oh look, a turret up. How quaint. How long is this one going to last? Not typically very long these days. Back in the old days, you could do some horrible things with turrets because, you know, there's a lot of new players around. Didn't know how to deal with them. Could lock them in base and stuff with a turret. These days, they typically don't last super long. They're going to be taken down by this Dreadnought here. Down it goes. You should be able to worship your turret as the Plague Champion, I think, and heal it over time. Come on now. Give him that. Give him something. Turret is such a bad ability for him. We have a Bright Lance already in play from the Guardian weapon team. That's an anti-vehicle weapon. Dreadnought backs the hell away from it. Orks pushing. Maybe looking for the power bash. Oh, Whirlwind from Commissar lag here. And they've got some Stone Guard veterans now with Hellfire rounds loaded in. You can tell from the skull icon. That will do damage over time to light infantry and enemy heroes and sub-commanders. Interceptors getting stuck into Noise Marines, which have got their Blastmaster out. I feel like players are too quick to transition to the Blastmaster. It's not a better weapon than a Sonic Blaster, it's just different. Sonic Blaster can remain very, very useful. I mean, you could shut down the ranged weapons of Terminators with those things. The Sonic Blaster. You don't need to give it up so quickly. It's very tempting to get artillery in a 3v3 and it's quite cheap as well. Interceptors now have their Justicar. He gives them the Furious Intervention teleport, which knocks stuff over. And because it's so quick, you can really mess stuff up with it. Dreadnought's pushed quite far up, but it should be able to bash the power relatively well here. I think 5 bursts and he'll have it down. One more. And now can just back away. I've got a level out of it. It's alright. We have a Grey Knight Dreadnought too. Awesome. Wraithlord going in for some melee. Doesn't have a shoulder mounted weapon yet. Should be able to tie up this guy and do pretty well. Oh, now he's taking las cannon shot, so needs to back away from that. Big burst of damage and that snare. Bright Lance, I think, is going to be exploded by the Sorcerer. Gets a good special. Couple more hits and it's going to go down. Down it goes. Exterminatus is in trouble here. He needs some support. Here we go. DarkElllf with double CSM with Mark of Tzeentch and a ton of war and their aspiring champions just whacked out one of Wolfguard CSM. Can't do a huge amount to the Dreadnought, but they're giving it a go. As you can see here, Heretics going in, some very brave Heretics going in. Wraithlord is still pretty low. Not sure why they're all shooting at the Dreadnought. I mean, it's doing decently well actually, the Inferno Bolts. But I feel like it should have tried to shred the Havocs or the Heretics or something. Here is the Grey Knight Dreadnought. It's gone for the Plasma Cannon, which is super fun. You get a Plasma Cannon and a twin-linked Heavy Bolter, which I think just completely removes the melee attack from this guy. Which means maybe that you can't tie him up. I'm not sure actually. Kind of like the Zone Throat, which doesn't have a melee attack, so you can't tie it up in melee. I mean, it doesn't want to be in melee, but it will still shoot stuff. Plague Champion now with the Plague Fist. Now going for the Armor of Pestilence too. Wraithlord tying up the Grey Knight Dreadnought with a shoulder-mounted Right Lance. That was a special attack, that's not useful. I mean, why do you even have a sword if just your hand is also heavy melee? Orks pushing the west side now. Stone Guard don't want to be in melee with Storm Boys, especially buffed up by a Warboss. Level 4. Apothecary has to flee. I guess he didn't have the heal available, or would have used it there. We do have some Terminators though. With their Power Fist, they'll give anything a good fight. And Sluggers have to run. Teleporting after him, you know. Trying to get a finish. Smack, smack, smack. Was it enough? It wasn't quite enough. Don't think. Trying to finish him off with the Storm Bolters. Couldn't quite do it. I think the boss pole health saved those guys there. Must have, right? The Wraithlord dead? Oh, he's alright. There he is. So this guy has melee resistance no matter what weapon loadout he has. Unlike the Chaos Dreadnought and the Grey Knight Dreadnought, which lose melee resistance when they get ranged weapons. Plague Champion takes his mix to the face. Can't quite get the cap going. The Plague Fist is a great capping tool though because of Pestilence Strike. 338 to 184. Exterminatus still struggling to hold that VP. Had a rough time so far against Wolfguard. Sorcerer runs level 4. Nob squad on the field for Kaiser. Oh man, smacking through those Terminators. They don't want to fight Nobs. Apothecary getting stuck in. Will do good damage with the Power Melee Anointed Power Axe, but again, doesn't want to stay in combat with the Nob squad. Does persuade them to leave though, not sure why. Nobs seem pretty healthy here. I guess they don't have any upgrades and they would have been disrupted over and over again by the Whirlwind anyway. Wraithlord's done okay. Kept it alive at least, which is something in a 3v3. Walkers typically don't live that long unless you're a Carnifex or something. 283 to 184. Storm Boys get out of there. Almost level 4 these fellas. Blue team seem a little bit depleted now. We got some Chaos Terminators now for Wolfguard. There they are. Twin linked bolters or combi bolters and power fists on those guys. Trying to get the cap. These Inferno bolters are going to do a lot of damage to them though. Extra versus the heavy or super heavy infantry armor of these Terminators here. Heavy for the interceptors in the CSM. Got their side cannons out. Working on that Wraithlord. Can they finish it? Couldn't quite get it done. 247 to 184. Banshees getting shredded and down they go. There is a Nurgly nuke from DarkElllf. Pretty nicely done. Can it finish off the Terminators? I think it did. Or did they get teleported out? Oh, they got teleported out just in time. That was so close. Like literally one more second of damage would have finished them off there. Because they were in the central circle, I think. Exterminatus with some Fire Dragons. Good anti-everything unit. Relatively short range though. Terminators fighting back against the Nob squad, which now have their Nob leader and U-Jammers. I assume they already have Mina and Greenit as well, but I'm not sure. Stone Guard using their Kraken bolts against those heavily armored Nobs. Sorcerer gets a decap again, using that teleport to good effect. Heretics are repairing. Eversor Assassin, level 3, doesn't have any new war gear. There's the Psychon, which does increase his range damage too. But it won't increase the damage of the Neurotoxin ability. It only increases the damage of his basic attacks, I believe at least. That's how it's meant to work. Got to fight a Plague Champion though, buddy, with a Plague Fist. Doesn't want it. Level 3 Plague Champion up to 1349 hit points. This guy just 760. Right? Yes. Warboss, sorry. Nobs using their frenzy. Warboss is in there though. Now got his heavy armor. All of a sudden, almost 2,000 hit points on this guy. Hit the Terminators. Do they have their teleport? No. So they can suppress with this autocannon, which I think is the idea that Commissar Lag is going for here. They can break suppression with frenzy, but frenzy, you can't use frenzy all the time. 75 red, and it only lasts 8 seconds, and it's got a 60-second cooldown. This is some serious harassment from the Orks here. Been making a complaint, Mr. Apothecary. Whirlwind was taken down, as you can see, probably chased into base, and then Frenzy was used. Couldn't quite get it done though. Frenzy must have been a cooldown. Or did they even have the red actually? No, they didn't quite have the red to use it either. A Rocks dropped in by Kaiser. Takes out the shrine that was there. 231 to 148. Chaos Predator on the way for DarkElllf. And Commissar Lag getting a Dreadnought to help him try to deal with that Nob Squad. That's an Eldritch Storm. That's going to destroy the Dreadnought and destroy those CSN. That's a good nuke. Look at Wolfguard now. That might have evened it up quite well, you know. Exterminatus not that far away from getting an Avatar or something. Commissar pushing as much as they can when they can. Here's the Dreadnought. Immediately going for the Dark Age of Technology for the plus 300 health. And since it's got melee resistance, it can fight the Nobs reasonably well. Doesn't want to be in a super long fight with them when they're like buffed up by a Warboss and stuff. But it might be enough. It'll definitely rip through the Storm Boys. 225 to 148. I think it was a good choice for Commissar Lag there. Maybe back it up with double Devastators or something. Or a tank if you think you keep it away from the Nob Squad. Fire Dragons having to flee. And they have their Dragon Scale armor. Immunity to weapon knockback, which is basically like the lighter form of knockback, typically from weapon special attacks and stuff in melee. Rangers persuaded to leave. Good shot from the Plasma Cannon. Blastmaster getting a decent hit though. Level 3 Grey Knight Dreadnought. Oh no, 2 Nob Squads though for Kaiser. Looks like an initial fight went relatively well there. Probably. Here's your Chaos Predator gone for the Mark of Nurgle. Basically makes it super tough. Some health regen, melee resistance, and way more health. Not quite as effective against other vehicles anymore, but the damage over time from the main shell is quite good against infantry if they stay still. 169 to 148. VP's almost completely evened up. Avatar of Cain is on the way, and so is the Great Unclean One. Wolfguard getting some more CSM up too. Just spending some of their requisition. Here we go with a Land Raider Crusader from YZ. And a late Purgation squad there, maybe for the Conversion Beamer anti-vehicle weapon. Wraithor getting stuck in. Level 3 Wraithor, he has done well. Bright Darts getting shots into. So the Crusader with these Hurricane Bolters has a Multi-Melter and an Assault Cannon too. Multi-Melter is doing good work against the Wraithor. I think he's trying to take out the Dreadnought maybe? Yeah. Don't think it's going to go away because this is a Nob Squad coming in. Yeah, couldn't quite finish off the Dreadnought either. Got pretty close. Commissar Lag seems confident enough to push his own Dreadnought in quite far there. Needs to back away. Exterminatus had a rough time of it. Down to an Avatar and Dire Avengers now. DarkElllf needs to carry a little bit. Got some Chaos Terminators up, going for the claws. Those will certainly rip through the Nob Squads. Like both of them, I think. Although with Warboss support and levels, it does muddy the waters. Good use of Emperor's Fist there to try and escape. Here comes the Apothecary level 6. And here comes another Dreadnought from Commissar Lag. Awesome. Really awesome. These guys need to switch out of their Hellfire rounds though. If they're going to shoot with the Nob Squads, they need to get those Kraken Bolts in. Okay. Got rid of them. Did some good damage. And Nobs are like, I believe they're like 15 power to reinforce, which is a hell of a lot. Seeing as they've got, you know, 4 non-Nob models. Not cheap. Here's the Great Unclean One. Super unit for Chaos. Passively damages nearby enemies. Has some nasty abilities too. Avatar, kind of the opposite. Also powerful in melee. Has some nasty abilities, but passively buffs nearby allies. 148 to 130. Las Cannon trying to get a shot on the Warlock there was not likely to hit. Here's those Lightning Claw Terminators tearing through any infantry that stands in their way. They will also tear through the enemy Great Unclean One too, since it's got super heavy infantry armor. Back off, Mr. Noble Predator. Blue team have the mid. DarkElllf doing a great job holding this. What is Exterminatus going to go for now? Fire Prism, surely. Or a D cannon or something. Look at that. Commissar Lag got the VP. Can he beat double knobs supported by a Warboss with double dreadnoughts? This guy now has the Power Claw too, and he's level 6. It's Seer Council for Exterminatus. This guy getting repairs? Yeah. It's going to take a while though. Oh! It's an Imperial Abyss from Wolfguard. Did some good work. There might have been another shrine there that it took out or something as well. The Eversor Assassin, gone for the Neuro Gauntlet. Really powerful, just kill everything now weapon. No special attacks, doesn't want to waste time with that, just claws you to death. Damage over time, and what is it, like 80 power melee DPS, it's pretty nasty. Also, Friends On. This is his tier 3 armor, I believe. 200 more health regen, more energy, and Friends On, which gives him suppression immunity, knockback immunity, and damage resistance, but he does drain health per second while it's active. Has a lot of red, why is it? I haven't noticed any of the Eversor Assassin globals being used. He might have used them though. Because, you know, I missed that stuff. Got some really good globals though. Kaiser's taken some hits. Does get the VP back with maybe the help of some Grey Knight fellas. Predator needs some repairs. So do the Loyalist Dreadnoughts over there. This could be a good plasma cannon shot. Okay, they've got away. He's the Eversor Assassin. I want to see it get stuck into these Marines here. There we go. Not going to last too long. Got a couple of hits in, that was it, and then those guys got healed. Warboss with a big old stomp. Dreadnought on Dreadnought action. It's so close, 104 to 96. Exterminatus has recovered with Seer Council and Fire Dragons. Oh, Conversion Beamer getting shots in here. Big shots, more damage the further away from the target you are. As basically a maximum range shot he got on the Dreadnought there at the end. And you can use an ability to snare targets too. I'm not sure what it's called. It doesn't tell me here. You get a duration ability to snare targets. Level 2 this guy. Need to do something about a Conversion Beamer. There's the Emperor's Fist. And now trying to leave. Interceptor's doing some damage as well, of course. I think there's a Psych Out grenade that is through in there, which suppresses units and I think messes up their energy or something. Angels of Death used by Commissar Lag to give 50% damage reduction and knockback immunity. And look at these Stern Guard veterans fighting off the Knob Squad in melee. The Dreadnoughts are still alive, you guys. The mid is red. Here comes the Avatar though, and Fire Dragons. The Land Raider Crusader is still there. Lightning Claw Terminators come to even up the fight on this side, making very, very short work of those Stormtroopers. Avatar versus Great Unclean One, 39 to 96. Can they hold on to the mid? They can't. The Warlock gets a decap. Here comes another Chaos Predator for DarkElllf too. Going for the Mark of Zinch with some extra anti-vehicle oomph. Might be able to go after that Land Raider Crusader then. Too much here for even for a Knob Squad to deal with. They need to run away. It's a close fight between the Great Unclean One and the Avatar. Avatar needs to escape though. Oh, subjugated Seer Council there. Doing a lot of damage to the allied Avatar. Now going after Great Unclean One though. They do have power melee damage, they'll be doing a lot. Tanking quite a lot of damage too. 35 to 86. Uh-oh. Lightning Claw Terminator's in huge amounts of trouble now. And that was a really short teleport for some reason. I think they're going to go down. Warboss, smack, takes him out. Loses the Terminators there. Commissar Lag has double scouts to try and keep things repaired. Did the Avatar get away? The Avatar did get away. Great and King One is now trying to chase the tank. It can be teleported out by Wolfguard. Not sure where the Sorcerer is. Gets the tank. Where is the Sorcerer? Sorcerer's back at base. Oh, but does not teleport it out. I wonder why. I wonder if it was on cooldown or something. 35 to 86. Intense ending. DarkElllf has had a rough time of it last couple of fights. Red team might be strong enough to pull this through, although Kaiser is down to just double knobs. Can they protect their own natural VP? Here comes a Nurgly nuke again, the Imperial Abyss from DarkElllf. Eversor Assassin trying to cap, but that's an Avatar. Oh, he's got his own Melter Bomb. He's throwing it there. Look at that. Smack. Looks like the Avatar is going to go down. But you know what? The Avatar knocks down when he explodes. Is it going to happen in time? Oh, Friendzone. I think Friendzone stopped the knockback there. And he did get the cap. Pretty sure the Avatar's body does knock back when it explodes. But I think Friendzone was active there. Chaos Predator for Wolfguard. Marco Zinch going in. This Nurgle Predator is level 4 now. More Terminators in. 2-1 for the red team. Commissar lag with a strangely placed orbital. That might have been from YZ. Either way, didn't seem to hit that much. It's a rough fight for the Stern Guard, trying to use And They Shall Know No Fear to knock stuff back. Here come the double Dreadnoughts. A little bit more patience. Might have got the double Dreadnoughts in at the same time and had those guys do their fast capping, but I guess they didn't have the time to be patient. Eldritch Storm going in. Blue team, I think, have run out of time here. And there it is. It was a GG. Really good game. Really intense at the end. Could have gone either way. We have a level 4 Warlock. Did not have any war gear. DarkElllf's Plague Champion level 6. We had a level 7 Apothecary. Certainly got some hits in. Level 7 Warboss down at the end. What did the knobs hit? Incidentally, level 4 and still level 1. Level 5 Eversor Assassin. And a level 9 Sorcerer did huge amounts of work putting pressure on this VP here. Well played, Wolfguard. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.